Hey, it's KiwiK, and we got our episode 10, season 6 Game of Thrones finale, and it was the single best episode of Game of Thrones ever. All 6 seasons, all of Game of Thrones, the best episode we have ever got. We got to see so many storylines forwarded, so many great characters moving up, Cersei burning shit down, bringing youth in. We gotta say fuck off to Dario, fuck off Pycelle, fuck off High Sparrow, fuck off Lancel, fuck off Walder Frey, fuck off Melisandre, and fuck the fuck off. I was kind of sad that Marjorie died, but I was over it for the amount of other deaths that happened with like Kevin and all that shit just getting burned to crisp. It kind of made her death less sad. And Tommen's death, oh my god, that shit was so funny. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have watched IT Crowd, but there's like this scene where the boss just like hops out the window. Props to whoever linked that out. So to round it off, that was absolutely amazing. I love so much shit in there. Hashtag best episode, hashtag Dany is coming. You go put that in the comment section right now. Right the fuck now. No, you don't even have a choice, man. You have to agree with me. Right now in this comment section. Right the fuck now. Okay, so I really did like this out of this episode. Had this really quiet, calm, collected, really like 5 o'clock in the morning kind of feel to it. All the characters are just getting dressed, getting prepared for the day, and it humanized every single one of them, especially when we had the High Sparrow putting his rag on. You could just see that they were all real people that had just slept and they lived real lives, and it was kind of this whole feeling of the day processing forward, and it was shot perfectly for it. Okay, so after all the noble ladies and stuff slowly walk into this beautiful, nice, calm music, they have the Loras trial, he fully admits everything going perfectly well, everything kind of is planned, they pull out the dagger, Marjorie's like, oh no, don't do that, you're defiling him, but it was all kind of just suiting forward how we'd all expected it to flow. And the funniest thing about this entire thing was that all the political changes and the huge upheavals of the characters of the Tyrells losing their son and all that shit was just counteracted. It was like, nah, fuck that, it just didn't mean delete. You know, none of this stuff really mattered. The Sparrows, well, everyone was thinking about the Tyrells and the ladies, and everything was just like deleted. And all the suspense of the Lancel and the children running around and stuff was so perfectly done to bring it forward and bring up the tension. It was a masterpiece of directing. The guy who did this was so amazing. If I ever do any big Hollywood shit, I have to hire this guy. He is literally the best Game of Thrones director we've ever had.
Where's the king?
Holy shit, that Maester is so... My god, Maester Pycelle, so stupid. He actually thought the king would send a homeless dwarf child to send for him. How the hell does he think the Maesters are sent for? Preston Jacob made this a brilliant point in his video. Holy shit, my god, he's so stupid. But it was fucking brilliant.
Fuck it.
Okay, so we move on to the Frey scenes with Jaime and stuff. Now we could really see Jaime looking through his character and his actions. He managed to resolve the River Run thing in a really diplomatic and brilliant way, even though he needed threats and like this terrible edge, I'm gonna fling your child out of a catapult to get it done. The anti-war theme stayed, they be able to resolve it, and good things came from not these stupid fighting, but well thought out plans. Jaime doesn't like the Freys. He probably hates the Freys for everything they stand for. They killed off Catelyn, someone he actually liked quite a bit and admired for her strength and things. They were terrible people to him and he hates them all, but he needs to keep that alliance. But he doesn't really care about catering to the Lord or anything. He was just blatant shut up like, oh my god, fuck you. It was all pretty much set up to foreshadow Arya's attack later on, and this kind of like equaling Jaime hates Walder Frey. Walder Frey equals bad guy dies, we'll go yay! Also, does anyone wonder if Arya recruited Hot Pie to make that pie for her? That would be the best. If next season Hot Pie and Arya are rocking around, that would be amazing. Just top off this episode so much more.
What is your name again? Barbara?
Obara.
Obara. You look like an angry little boy. Don't presume to tell me what I need.
Forgive my sister. What she lacks in diplomacy,
Do
she makes...
shut up, dear. Anything from you? No. Good. Let the grown women speak.
Now, something that this episode did really well that made it flow so nicely is the fact that we got a whole bunch of awesome scenes that were like dramatic and bringing along the plot, and we also got a whole bunch of comic relief in between, like Bran and Olenna with the sand snakes, plus the old grumpy librarian.
From Lord Commander Snow at Castle Black.
So Sam and Gilly arrive at Oldtown. It seems that this story is going to finally get really interesting for once. We had that nice conversation, an awesome dynamic between his father and his family and stuff, which I'm really surprised we haven't seen his father catch up to this point. He was going pretty slow, and he would hunt him down like a motherfucker till we get that sword back. I'm not sure what Sam's going to do about Gilly and the babe in Oldtown, but my god, that library looks so awesome. Plus, if you notice that like the sun thing that they have in the library is very similar to the sun we see in the beginning model of all of the episodes. Now, I'm really interested to see where Sam's storyline goes. Like, we know some of this book stuff, there's the characters I won't really mention here, but they're pretty cool, and they're insightful, and there's more magical and stuff like that. And with Sam already encountering the White Walkers and that kind of magical North stuff, him knowing about Daenerys and dragons and the magical things of Oldtown will make him a really knowledgeable character about those arts.
I always wanted to be a wizard.
Okay, so the bird we saw in the preview breakdown has finally arrived, and it was announcing winter. Kinda would have been cool for it to be a message from Sam, but I understand that winter needed to be announced, it was here, and it's ready to fuck things up. So we have this scene here where Jon is approached by Davos, and he's finally mad. Took him a whole season 2, but now we get it, motherfuckers. And he's like, fuck you, you killed Shireen, get the fuck out, or I'll slay you myself. Jon's move was pretty smart. He probably needs her a little bit, and he wants her alive. She can understand and be sympathetic with her, but he has to lay down the justice because you can't just let someone get away with murdering children. It's not okay. It kind of would have been cool to see her die for some like really good reason, because we know that in the books, Thoros of Myr gave his life to bring back a certain character to life. So if she died like now or later on, pretty soon in the next season, for a purpose to help out another character and stuff like that, then it'd be really awesome to see her die as a bitch, but actually something good come from it. Okay, this scene here was a little bit off. The talk between them was really strange. Like, I assumed that Sansa would become the Queen of the North and be the ruler because she's the legitimate lord of the next person in the line. I didn't think they would skip her and go, let's go King of the North Jon. I like King of the North Jon, that's cool. That's great because I think Sansa's been a bit bitchy and stuff like that. But she also loses a little bit of trust by Littlefinger, which is going to be the next big obstacle for Jon and her to overcome. She rejected him, and now she's supporting Jon as King of the North, kind of taking the Vale army away from him. He's not going to like that whatsoever. His own goals, as he said, is always making sure he's on that throne and he's got what he wants. Does the picture of Jon being King of the North help him achieve that? Probably not. Regardless of that, Jon is still King of the North, and my god, Lyanna Mormont is the best. Hashtag best episode. Now, Dany finally gets rid of Dario. He wasn't the right suit for Dany, and we all knew it. I kind of like Dario in a few different parts when he was showing off his Fidesz, awesome character, but that's how he's supposed to roll. He's not he's not a hugely centric character that can really stay with Dany. This finally means she's cut all ties with the Marine, everything like that, and she can move forward with her plans to invade Westeros. So we get this small little scene between Bran, Cold Hands, and Mira and stuff. It's nice that they brought back to those characters before we wrapped up. And the best part was, they ended the Tower of Joy scene. Fucking finally. I hated Raven so much for cutting off that vision. I was like, no, plus J was gonna be confirmed. But then they did it. And they fucking did it amazingly. I love how they didn't really say it was Jon at first. Like when she was whispering in the air, I'm like, no, they better not whisper it and just say, promise me. And then she starts saying, promise me, Ned. Promise me. I'm like, no, they won't tell us about the baby. They won't tell us anything. And then the baby cried. I'm like, yes. They put out the baby. They didn't name it Jon. So people are like, oh, it must not be Jon. But then they had that really obvious transfer between the baby opening her eyes and Jon's eyes just being there. It was like, you could not make it any more clear that was Jon. Okay, so we finally get Jaime arriving back at King's Landing, and he does not look happy with the ruins and the explosion coming from King's Landing. Remember, he was the guy that saved King's Landing the first time. He gave up his honor, his position, and people have been scolding him for years, like decades, for that action of saving the city. And now he comes back just to see the sept blown to shreds by wildfire. And then we have that crowning scene, and it's just, oh my god, so dark. So imperialistic. You can look at my video I put out yesterday about Cersei getting killed by Jaime and stuff, and it has a lot of detail about this scene, but I thought it was really well done. And then we had that look between Jaime and Cersei, and you could see that the love was just dying in there. Like, oh my god, I want season 7 right now. I want to see the relationship between those two just devour itself. I want to see where they lead. I want to see Dany. I want to see everything. And that, my friends, will be so amazing. And so, we end the entire season on this amazing note. Like, I can forgive them having Varys teleport around the place, but holy shit. They have Daenerys heading to Westeros. She's got the Taural ships, she's got the Martell ships, she's got all these other, like, Dothraki and the Slavers ships and everything, and they're all ready to fight, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Like, we look back at the other episodes we got this season. Episode 1 wasn't very good. We had some terrible episodes in between. And we're like, oh, what's happening with Game of Thrones? And I constantly kept saying through that I hope they're just developing the characters and the storyline to make it really awesome at the end. And oh my god, episode 9, episode 10 just really paid off so well. I think it was amazing. Hashtag best episode. Hashtag Dany is coming. Put it in the comment sections. Let's make this a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is King McKay, and this is my Episode 10, Season 6 of Game of Thrones review. Subscribe.